Hey guys, I'm Kyle. Welcome back to another video. So today we are rolling out of the driveway, taking the XJ on her maiden off-road voyage. So let's go. So the XJ is at a really good spot to go get some mud on it. We got mud tires, we got front and rear suspension, bumpers front and rear, winch in the front, so I can get recovered from the rear or I can winch forward if I'm stuck. And pretty much the only thing I wanted to get done for this portion that's not done is rock sliders. So I'm gonna be a little bit careful on this trip. If there's any hard ledges or stuff that I think would really dent up the body, I'm gonna kind of stay away from that. But other than that, we're gonna go have some fun. That's what we built it for, right? So we are going from here in Charleston, South Carolina to Windrock Park in Tennessee. It's a 5.5, 6 hour drive. So we'll get to see how the XJ does on the highway, get some highway miles on her, and I'll keep you guys posted. I'll take you along for the whole ride. So we are on the highway now. Got it up to 70 miles an hour. Speedometer's off by 5 because I haven't put in the new speedometer gear for the 31's yet. But we're cruising right along, and let me just set cruise control. Oh, it's right. It's sitting in my garage because I haven't installed it yet. So this is the base model. Didn't come with cruise control. I bought the system, the different components to it to install it from the higher trims, and haven't got to that project yet. So we got 10 hours on the highway this weekend with no cruise control. All right guys, so this trip is not going nearly as well as I had hoped for. I got into camp at like 9:30 last night and I wasn't tired, so I was like, yeah, let's do some night wheeling, right? That's always fun. So I went out and hit the first trail that I found, and the Jeep started falling apart. Like, not to exaggerate, but one problem I knew about, which was 2 days before coming here, so 2 days ago, I started hearing this really weird, you might even be hearing it right now, kind of clunking noise coming from the rear end, and I got under there and shook the suspension around and figured out that both of the rear shocks only had one of the two upper bolts that were supposed to be holding it in. So it wiggles its way loose and starts rattling around under there. And so I was already really excited about this trip. I tried to find bolts at the hardware store to replace the two missing bolts. But I think, like, now in hindsight, I think it's a standard size thread, and I was looking for metric bolts, which is why I didn't find the right thread size. I didn't find anything that fit it. So I wasn't able to get more bolts put in, and I wanted to come anyway. So I just cranked them tight, and I had to tighten them twice on the 6 hour drive here, once like halfway and then again when I got here. And within 15 minutes on the trail, both of the shocks were completely not attached at the upper end. So obviously it's a very annoying noise to hear in the cab, and the shock on the right, actually, when it gets loose, it hits the exhaust. So it's just not that much fun to deal with. And then also last night I started hearing a weird kind of popping sound coming from the front axle. So we'll figure it out. I still want to hit a badge of honor trail, and we will see if I can do Trail 26 with a Jeep that's falling apart, and then drive 6 hours home. new plan of attack. So I am determined to have fun on this trip, and turning around and driving 6 hours home this morning after driving 6 hours here last night would not be very much fun. And listening to those shocks clanging around in there, also not very much fun. So I just took the rear shocks off. And this was part of the reason I was okay with coming, was I was like, shocks are not really a necessary component to drive a vehicle down the road. They're a very helpful component. So I am headed to the trailhead. I'm going to see if I can complete Trail 26, one of the Jeep Badge of Honor trails here, and we are going to have a very bouncy ride doing so with no shock absorbers in the rear. So let's go. Alright guys, I have really good news. I couldn't figure out what my front end noise was, and it looks like I forgot to put the washer on the bottom bushing, and the sway bar pushed that bushing down over the lower part of the sway bar. So that's all I'm hearing, is that sway bar clanging back and forth. So yeah, I was thinking a U-joint or an axle shaft, and that's really good news. So onward. All right, so we have got ourselves in quite the predicament here. This little flexi spot just popped me up on 3 wheels, but this is the one I'm really worried about. So I don't know, the XJ continues to impress, but this ledge, if you can't tell, is about 2 feet. So we'll see how this goes. Well, our day has taken a great turn for the better. The Jeep's doing fine without the rear shocks in. I would be bouncing down the trail anyways, so I'm just bouncing down the trail. And now that I figured out what that front noise was coming from, I just went ahead and disconnected the sway bar that I should have done this morning. And that's not annoying anymore. And I get a little bit of rubbing in the front, a little bit of rubbing in the rear. but it's an old Jeep. So yeah, now we got a little bit more flex, a lot less random noises, and I at the end of Trail 26, so I completed Trail 26, first Badge of Honor trail for the XJ. And at the end of the trail, I met up with a Gladiator on 38's. So we both kind of found out at the same time that there is no like easy gravel road to get back to the main part of camp. There's going back down 26 or this other trail that we're on now, which is 27. So just to see something different, we decided to do 27, and we are on another moderate rated trail. So rated the same as 26 was. And so far it's just been pretty rocky with like 8 to 12 inch tall rocks. So nothing that I'm getting high centered or stuck on. Nothing that the Jeep can't climb over yet. No big obstacles. But we'll see what the trail has in store for us, and I might throw in some footage of this Gladiator on 38's. All right, guys, well, that is a wrap for this video. I am back on the road, tires aired back up, and I am gonna start my 6-hour drive home to South Carolina. Hopefully I make it without any mechanical issues in the Jeep. But it turned out to be a great trip. Obviously I was really worried, kind of down last night, thinking that the Jeep was gonna have problems and I wasn't gonna get home, or I wasn't gonna get to off-road it at all. But we got 2 Jeep Badge of Honors here, the first 2 for the Jeep, and now I know what to do moving forward. I got to trim a little bit more fender in the front and the rear, actually. I got to get my sway bar up front fixed, and I got to get my rear shock mounts fixed. So that's what I'll be doing in the garage. Until next time, hit that like and subscribe, and stay tuned to the channel for more content. Thanks.